that all that took place today in Port Harcourt is nothing but a nullity and is of no effect. Because the law is settled. Even if an order is given by a drunkard sitting as a judge, by an insane person sitting as a judge, it must be obeyed. There was an order of courts stopping the holding of this Congress today. And if you see the second paragraph of that order, it was very clear that it should be served by substituted means, by pasting in the party office or by publishing the newspaper. It was all. And that was effected, it was pasted. But to err on the side of surplusage, the claimants decided to even do a DHL service, and it was properly served on them. We knew that the recalcitrant position that might be taken by those who would not want to abide by the rule of law would be to say that we have not been served. But it's a matter of common knowledge. Almost all media houses today, including your very highly reputed AIT, carried it. There was an order stopping this. And it's also a very funny thing. Let me even bring you to the reality on ground. While at the convention or the Congress, the party took a decision to say that, okay, the chapter chairmen who emerged from this controversial list that they were talking about should not be allowed to vote. That amounts to approbating and reprobating. On one hand, you were trying to obey the order of the court by doing a partial compliance to what it said. But go back to paragraph 1 of that order. You were not supposed to hold the Congress today or at any other time until the successful determination of the motion on notice which has been filed. So anything that has been purported to be done pursuant to this remains a nullity.
So you are saying that whatever the PDP South Zone is doing in Port Harcourt today is a nullity, and so what's the implication of that? You have gone to court, but I want to take you back to what happened on Friday. The Supreme Court, probably that's what your party is holding. The Supreme Court, in the case between APC and Iguaguma, said that party issues, internal party matters, should not be taken to court, that the court has no jurisdiction to hear internal party matters. And it seems that whatever is going on the Congress's issue is an internal party matter.
Let me take you through a historical perspective of how that order came back as far back as 1838, over 100 and something years ago. But don't forget that in that very locus classicus that came as a result of Force and Harbattle, which was later followed in the Nigerian case of Onwoha and Okafor, that law, that provision does not run with any exception. It has exception. And these are the exceptional grounds that we are talking about. If members feel aggrieved that their rights have been violated, and the court decides to give an order, the court has not passed a judgment and said you cannot handle this. But the court has first restrained you from carrying out an activity. All you needed to have done was just first to obey the order of court. What is the matter now? It's not the issue of whether it's not an internal affairs of the party. This matter has remained internal affairs since on the 21st day of March 2020, when this whole action happened. Don't forget, it was a product of a criminal arrangement orchestrated by some persons in the National Secretariat working with some elements from Cross River State, where a proper consensus that was drawn from the ward and chapter level were being doctored only because COVID-19 came up with a circular, the outbreak of COVID-19, the party came up with a circular and said every place should be locked down, and people went behind the scene and had to tamper with the genuine list of people that emerged from the process. As I speak, we have the original blue copy. The party has looked at all these issues. Matters had gone to court at various levels. It could not be resolved. But when the position was taken that the Zonal Congress was going to come and they published a list of those that were going to participate, the party in the state and all the claimants thought it wise to write to the national party, national body of the party, to say, please, these issues have been lingering. You have not resolved this. try and resolve this issue or else we'll boycott the process. And the party gave a window as if this is going to be resolved because the David Marks committee had looked at all this issue and came up with a recommendation. So after all, it was a consensus building. The party should still harmonize. This harmony was taken to the satisfaction of the party, where 20-30% concession was given to some officers at the National Assembly level who felt aggrieved and who were behind part of this whole issue. But at the end of the day, what happened? Only for some people to go nicodemously few days ago to say they wanted to go and publish this list again of these contentious chapter chairmen to go and vote. And that was why these aggrieved persons, the 4 persons suing on behalf of themselves and others, decided to approach the court, file their processing at the court, saw merit in it, to say, okay, in the interim, let us restrain the holding of this Congress. Come and let us hear you. It would have been hard for the court to give a determination that we do not, it is not within our internal affairs. And that is where you would have come up with that argument. But on this case, you have not appeared before the court. All you have done is an infra dignitatem on the dignity of the court. And no court can take it. I will not sit down here and advocate for the court. But the court, under whose integrity you have been you've been found to be contemptuous of, knows what to do.
Okay, but Barrister Oga, now let me also take you back to your party constitution, where they said that after a Congress, if you are aggrieved members who are not satisfied with the outcome of the Congress should write to the committee, which will look into that. Did you go to that? Because I know that the same PDP constitution said that you must hold on. Barrister, hold on. I will allow you to talk. Yes. The PDP constitution said you have to first of all, put your matter before a committee or use the internal party reconciliation mechanism before you go to court. Did you do this?
Has been done, man. We wrote to the party sat down, looked at it, put up a committee headed by Senator David. His Excellency Ibrahim Sharma was part of that committee, and they sat and looked at it and came up with a recommendation that said there should be total reconciliation and harmonization. And all the parties said at the state level is that we have agreed to be bound by the recommendation of no lesser an individual than a former Senate President of this country and former governors of this country. And so therefore, all we want is publish that recommendation and we'll abide by it. We were still awaiting that recommendation to be published when this whole issue came up. And as law-abiding citizens, all what we said was that, no, hold on to this Congress until we resolve this issue. Cross River State is the only chapter of the party in the South region that is going through this.
Wow.
Cross River Northern Senatorial District issue, where the state today has been reduced to an issue I cannot even describe. Honestly, it is an insult on the sensibility of people from Cross River State. So we think the time has come where people should know the truth, the criminal orchestration behind this, those who are stoking this fire, and all whatnot. It has come to that time. And the party must be firm in taking a decision which it has put up a committee to decide on, and which recommendation is before it. Okay, if that is done today, I think this claimant will have no issue against the party, because we believe in the supremacy of the party. We believe that it is not justiciable. But what is the issue as of today is the contempt that has befallen the party in terms of the order of court.
All right, Mr. Barrister Oga, before I let you go, I need to just chip in this little comment. You have gone to court stopping the Congress from holding. That's the South Zonal Congress in Port Harcourt. And the party seem to say, we do not have your court order. We don't have any injunction from the court. We are not in receipt of it. And before now, there were talks that some set of the People's Democratic Party members who are not happy with what's going on in the party are planning to leave the party, including your governor. Are you one of those that are planning to leave the party? That's how the question I will end for tonight. Are you one of those that are planning to leave the party?
Let me tell you something that will amuse you. So many persons that have been beating the drum of the governor leaving this party, most of them have long moved into the APC. In fact, I listened to Governor Ayade when he was saying and talking about the governors that were going to come into the party. And one of the major characters that has been stoking this fire was mentioned as one of the last persons that would join the APC. So we are used to this. This whole matter started as far back as August 2015, when His Excellency accompanied the president to Chad in his first official visit. Everybody said the governor was moving to APC. 6 years down the line, he's still in PDP. He has done much more than any former governor of this state has done for the party. Winning all the elections, 196 councillors for PDP, 18 local government chairmen for PDP, 25 House of Assembly members for PDP, all the senators, House of Reps, except only one in Abi Obubura constituency where we have the former governor. That was the only place we lost to APC. So when people talk about the governor moving to APC, I take it as a joke taken too far. But today, we are only faced with the reality of what is happening, and people should keep.
All right, Barrister Oga, I think that's the much we can take on this. Barrister Oga, can you hear me?
Question of whether a governor is moving to APC
or not
to be an issue for today.
All right, okay, Barrister Oga, I would like to say thank you. Barrister Afosos Oga.